Hi all and welcome to the Watch Lobby. This is the first video of a little Rolex Datejust series that I'll be releasing. I'll link to the other videos in the top right corner. I was lucky and grateful to be able to borrow 3 Datejusts in 3 different configurations which I'll be reviewing in the upcoming videos. So if you're a Rolex Datejust fan or just a watch fan in general, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Up in today's video is something for the ladies. We have the Rolex Datejust 279173. The piece we see here is the most iconic Datejust configuration. We have the two-tone stainless steel and 18 karat yellow gold with fluted gold bezel and champagne dial. This is an absolute stunning and elegant piece. Sizing of this little Datejust can be polarizing at times, with fashion trends for ladies progressing upwards to 31 and 34mm pieces. But let's quickly go over the measurements of this piece. Measured diagonally, this piece comes in at 28.3mm. Measured horizontally to include the crown, it came in at 30.5mm, with a lug to lug of 32.9mm. However, it'll wear slightly larger than that as the first link from each end of the bracelet is fixed. Measured, including the first fixed link, we get a measurement of 36.7mm. We get a thickness of 10.8mm, not including the Cyclops, and a lug width of 14mm. Sized up with one additional link, this piece weighed in at 78 grams. The ladies' Datejust is sized perfectly for that elegant wear. Naturally, I can't show you a wrist shot of this piece myself, so I've enlisted the help of my wife for this one. As the fashion trends have moved upwards, you rarely see many 28mm Datejusts on wrist, but they look absolutely stunning. If fashion trends continue, which often they don't, this 28mm Datejust might just be obsolete. We'd be more inclined to see the younger ladies follow those trends, so we may see them in 31 to 36mm pieces. With some direct feedback I've been given, the 28mm is a bit harder to read for the middle-aged woman who would most likely be looking for that more traditional wear. Potentially on this one, the champagne dial would not be helping with legibility, and a more contrasted dial may help there. This piece here is the most traditional configuration, showing an 18 karat yellow gold fluted bezel, and as we all know, the leader in fluted bezels is by far Rolex. Regardless of size, the fluted bezel on this lady's Datejust plays with light beautifully. Moving inwards, we see the inclusion of a sapphire crystal with the ever so iconic date Cyclops. If the Cyclops with its 2.5 magnification was ever a utilitarian feature over Rolex's iconic design element, it would be its use on the ladies' Datejust. The Cyclops truly does help with the date legibility on this piece, otherwise the date window would just be way too small to spot the date at a glance. As we take a look at the dial, we get the ever so stunning sunburst champagne dial as we see often on all Datejust variants. It's easy to see why this configuration has lasted the test of time. On the dial itself, we see an applied 18 karat gold Rolex crown signifying the 12 o'clock, with applied rectangular gold hour markers the entire way around, filled with Rolex's Chroma Light lume. Printed on the dial we see the word Rolex, Oyster Perpetual, Datejust, all at 12, and superlative chronometer officially certified at 6. Topping it all off, we have the standard Datejust handset, again in yellow gold with some Chroma Light lume. And like all modern Rolexes, tying it all together, we have the Rolex etched Rehort the entire way around with the serial number displayed at 6. Taking a look at the case itself, made out of stainless steel, which has a polished finish, we see a nice subtle curve to the side profile. At 3 o'clock we have a yellow gold screw down twin lock crown, giving the Datejust 100 meters or 330 feet of water resistance. Flipping the Datejust over, we have the iconic blank caseback, which we again see on all Rolex models. What's under the caseback, however, is slightly more unique. Clearly having to use a different movement to what we find in men's pieces, purely for size. We see Rolex's in-house caliber 2236, which was released back in 2014. featuring a Siloxy hairspring, which is essentially Rolex's in-house silicone hairspring. The 2236 has an accuracy of plus or minus 2 seconds a day, a power reserve of 55 hours, and a beat rate of 28,800 beats per hour. Moving on to the bracelet, the ever so popular Jubilee. Again in two-tone steel and polished yellow gold. The fluidity of a Jubilee bracelet is absolutely stunning. The way a Jubilee bracelet conforms around any wrist makes it incredibly comfortable to wear. The bracelet itself has 2mm of taper from 14mm down to 12mm at the hidden clasp. The Rolex logo on the clasp itself is articulated, with its latch system locking the clasp shut with a crisp snap. One of my favourite features on any Rolex, and something that goes unrecognised by most, is the clasp itself. The finishing on the clasp is absolutely brilliant. This is where most manufacturers cut corners. But here, like on all other Rolexes, we see perfectly curved and smoothed off edges which leave no sharp edges to dig into your skin while wearing. I'll continue to praise this aspect of any Rolex watch, as it's the small details that truly elevate the wearer's comfort on wrist. Now, unlike other videos, I can't exactly give my subjective opinion on the Ladies Datejust, as I have literally never put it on, as it just doesn't fit over my knuckles. My overview for this piece is going to be mostly objective. Now, like most Rolexes, the fit and finish of the 279173 is brilliant. We see polished center links on the bracelet, which is susceptible to hairline scratches, but the Jubilee bracelet hides them extremely well. Having 100 meters of water resistance means that this can essentially be worn in all circumstances. It might be a bit out of place at the beach in this configuration though. This is a fairly obvious reason why the Datejust is arguably one of Rolex's most iconic pieces. It really is a watch that can do it all. If you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget, this is the first of a mini series of videos aimed at the beloved Rolex Datejust. Don't forget to click the link in the top right corner to see the rest of the series. I'd like to also ask, if you like my content, it would mean a lot if you could hit that subscribe button, and like and comment. With that said, we've come to the end of another video. As always, thank you for watching and stay safe.